Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome to my Let's Try of the alpha demo of Hovership Havoc, a mostly top-down twin-stick shooter in development by Snow Day Software. I'll be spending at least 20 to 25 minutes on this title, giving my first impressions along the way. So without further ado, let's begin. In the final game, you'll have access to 4 different ship classes, but in this demo, you only have access to the Laser Blaster, which is essentially the jack of all trades. Every one of these levels are randomly generated. We start out in the research facility. By the way, I'll be playing through this game using the mouse and keyboard. You can also use a controller. In order to fire your primary weapon, hold down the left mouse button. In order to focus, hold down the right mouse button. And to use your abilities, look at the prompts below. And our basic enemy types are these yellow walkers. On the top left is our health bar, and below it is our heat meter. If our weapon overheats, we'll be forced to wait for it to cool down until we can fire again. First ability is the ability to drop mines. You can only equip 2 abilities at once on this ship. The objective for every one of these rooms is to destroy the energy cores. Every room will have at least 1 energy core, and they are clearly marked on the map. Our second upgrade is a drone bomber. It seems the Laser Blaster's main weapon does have a bit of a short range. Our next upgrade is Shockwave. Sure, let's go with that. It also appears that these energy cores will spawn in after you spend enough time in the room. You don't necessarily need to destroy all the enemies before you can complete the room. And you can see where the enemies are spawning in thanks to the red circles on the ground. It's a bit difficult dodging these enemies, as this ship has quite a bit of weight to it. And these beginning enemies are surprisingly durable, although that may be because I have a shorter range weapon. It feels like a short range spread gun. I'm running really low on health here. I hope there's health pickups in this game. We even have laser turrets. No thanks. And we completed the first level, so now we can apply our upgrades to either our hovership or our abilities. I wonder if this is meta progression and it lasts between each run. Sure, let's go with that. So far, this game is more difficult than I initially expected it to be. There's our first boss battle. Unlike the levels preceding it, these boss battles take place in third person. Every time you complete a level and move on to the boss battle, you are restored back to full health. Whoa, quite a bit of stuttering happening. Not sure why that's going on. Oh goody, laser turrets. That marks the end of this boss battle. It wasn't that bad. It did get a free hit on me over there, so hopefully that's fixed. So I guess we're moving on to the second level. Never mind, the demo's complete. That was rather short. I thought this demo would actually have 3 levels. Let me do another run through. So there is some meta progression, as my laser blaster is now up to level 1. Those hovership upgrades I applied in between the level, those were temporary. This is permanent though. Let's see if this run works a bit better. It'll be a bit easier thanks to my increased damage and shot range. Although honestly, I feel it'd be better if we started off with a hovership class that had longer range weaponry. See, now these enemies feel a lot more like the basic level flunkies in other twin stick shooters. Some other suggestions I have are to make the damage numbers a lot more obvious, or give an option to make them more obvious. Something else I'd like is if our bullets had more impact upon hitting enemies. It feels like I'm firing several peashooters at the enemies. Same with the enemies, they need more visual and audio impact. So if I destroy all the energy cores in the room, it'll destroy all the remaining enemies there. I wonder if that still counts for experience though. That's something else I'd like, an experience bar while in game, or at least show how much experience I get by defeating these enemies. Perhaps once I complete the level, it'll show the total amount of experience I earned. All these levels feel rather short, so essentially this is the in-game level. Because of how short these playthroughs are due to the lack of levels in this demo, I'll do one more playthrough, then I'll give my final thoughts on this game. I like the graphics and music, it's just the gameplay feels kind of vanilla. This went by much faster this time. When using the laser ship, the best way to destroy all these enemies is to get up close and personal. See, I like how there's meta progression in this game. I just wish the game more clearly explained my experience sources. After all, it does track all the enemies I destroy, according to the stats menu. I'd also like if there were more choices on how I could progress through the levels. Like, give me some route splits, and perhaps a map. The core gameplay loop seems fine to me, but as I said, it feels a bit vanilla, and there needs to be more oomph to my and the enemy attacks. There doesn't seem to be enough impact to my attacks, and the damage numbers need to be more obvious. At least it's obvious when I'm taking some damage. I'd also like if there was a progress bar in each one of these levels to show how close we are to the next stage. I didn't realize you can get this. You can upgrade your weapon levels directly. Your weapon damage levels specifically. And it's noticeable, I deal 3 more damage per hit. And as I have a spread gun, it stacks pretty well with it. Oh, that's the max amount of damage you can have in this demo. It can't go up to 10. Fine with me. Let's face off against the boss. With every successive playthrough, it gets easier and easier, which is why I find it strange there isn't a second level, or at least make the research facility a bit longer, twice as long. It feels a bit too short, combined with the upgrades you can get. You can go face first into the boss and you don't take any damage. see even more of a cakewalk. It's rather advantageous when you're using the laser ship, but for other ship types, it's better to stay back. Perhaps in the final game we'll have different ship types, or rather we'll have different boss types which work better or worse with whichever hovership class you start up with. And I do like how we can edit our loadouts, but once again, I want a XP tally once you complete a level to see how well you did. Perhaps give some recommendations or awards depending on how well you do, perhaps some bonuses if you perfect run it or destroy all enemies, or complete the level in a certain amount of time. Also make it clear that this is actually your meta level, and while you're in the level, those are your temporary levels. Abilities look nice and varied, but as I said, I need more levels before I can make a more conclusive final result on this. I wish to see this twin stick shooter get better. As it stands right now, it's on the more vanilla side. The graphics and music seem fine to me, it's just that the gameplay needs some improvements. Nevertheless, I wish the best of luck to the developers on this title. According to them, they'll try releasing it in April of 2019, so we'll see how the final product fares. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!